Hey, Steve with Trimble. In this connected construction tip, we're going to show you how to draw a profile of an existing steel stringer. So we can come back and design in some glazing so that it fits exactly. And do this with repeatability to about a 16th of an inch. So we know all our glass is going to be in the right spot. So this is what the project looks like. You can see if you come over here and turn on some more of this point cloud. We have a couple sets of landings in the field with the Trimble X9 laser scanner, collects 1,000,000 points a second. And so this will give you anything it sees, it'll take a measurement on to less than 2 millimeter accuracy, register those together, and bring them back into RealWorks here so that we can do precise measurements. We can do a lot of this actually in the field, but this example, we're just going to show you how to do it in RealWorks so that I can send actual line work. I can send single points and draw in between those points in AutoCAD, or all those scan points and draw in between those. But to do precisely, we're going to do it here in AutoCAD. So let's turn off the rest of this stuff. Inside. So you can see I already have one here already. Turn that guy off actually. So all I'm doing, and I would refine this, make sure I'm millimeter accuracy. I think this one registered about 1.5 mils. But even one scan would probably see enough of this stringer that I wouldn't actually care about the registration. I'd just look at one scan. But we got a couple scans in here, so we're going to use them. So I'll jump into the easy profiling tool. And so I segmented it down. Again, just clipped it out. I'll go into cutting plane. And then for this one, I will use the define plane based on selection. So I'm just going to click here. And so I just clicked in the middle of that stringer to the top, also in the middle. And so that created me a nice little cutting plane. And you can see here, this is where it kind of cuts down right here, where there is nothing. But I'll investigate the rest of this. Maybe I want to bring this down, so I'm only really drawing at the middle of this. Make sure it still has good coverage, and it does. So I can actually start to just do the line drawing. I can do extraction. It does fairly well. I just find it's a little bit faster to just do it this way, which is manually come in. So do I want to bring this across or come up? I'll probably start here and just act like that floor is going to continue. Bring it up. And then follow this up. You can see that little bump there is from the temporary handrail that is there. Assume that will get moved and leveled out as long as it stays straight there. You can see we're doing very precise. We have very good range accuracy on the X9, especially on repetitive or darker reflective surfaces. So we do get some good, really good readings there. But we end this line and close out. You'll see there's our line, create and then close. So turn this on. That is a really good representation. That is the measurement of that steel stringer. Turn this on so you can see a little bit better. And from here, I'd want to rename this because I can't really export too many. Actually, I'll delete this one. Too many other symbols, dashes when I export a DWG. So I just like to have that as one. But from here, that'd be the inside stringer between scans 5 and 6. I can export this as a DWG. And this line work will come into really any other CAD program. So I can detail out the rest of that glazing, and I know I can pull off that, know that that's where my stringer actually is, so that that glazing fits precisely. So I'll keep it in 3D because I actually like to work in that rather than 2D, export it. And then we have some data from before. We actually, if we look at it here, this is field length. This is what runs on the tablet. Here you can see we have 3 scans. It's actually a couple more stairs. But if we look at just this one, excuse me, We can see we have some other lines. So we have a blue line of some other measurements that were taken. So it's good to do this, compare it with your current methods, maybe a 16th inch difference, but also kind of just run repetitive measurements in between the two. And if it's repeating, that's usually a pretty good sign that the accuracy is there. Still the 16th there. If we go to the top, we'll see what that stringer difference is at the top there. But if the repeatability is good, generally that means it's pretty trustworthy. Obviously, I'd still compare this to your traditional methods. But once you find a good, once you become comfortable in RealWorks to take those measurements, you should be able to repeat that. Real big advantage by scanning is you get every measurement there. And really, you can go back and do this. So you can send anybody out in the field to collect these measurements and then have someone who knows what they need to measure do that back in RealWorks, saving a lot of times, extra trip out to site, and more importantly, a lot less fabrication. It's kind of hard to bend glass, so this is going to make sure the lines are straight and everything's going to fit so you can fabricate it and send it out to site. If you have any more questions, please reach out to your nearest Building Point representative. Thanks.